we go. Starting a little bit, guys. Yo. Let me turn down the music a little bit. What is good, guys? Mauro from Design Syndrome. Glad to have you here. This is a spot on my YouTube channel when we aim to forget a little bit about trends and effects, all that stuff that really comes and goes and lives at the surface of design. Here, we aim to go a little bit deeper and train the core fundamentals that I believe that, if developed, will really nurture and bleed out and help you nurture all areas of your creative life. So if you want to become a design ninja, you're at the right place. Welcome to the Design Dojo. What's good, my guys? I'm killing the intro right now, you know what I mean? I have it already practiced out, you know? 1 second, guys. My chat is not showing on the screen for posterity, you know what I mean? Let me get the chat. There it is, bro. So how's everyone doing? Everything good? So for anyone that doesn't know what this is, and maybe you just find the channel out, this is the Design Dojo, a spot on my Discord channel where we tackle like a yearly structure of design assignments, more catered toward the fundamentals. So not so much tutorials. These are like exercises, you know what I mean, that you need to upload to the Discord, and we then do some community feedback. And also on these streams, I'll talk about the exercises and the design concepts that they revolve around. Sometimes, such as this one, I'm gonna try to do it live. So let's go. Stressed but chilled. Haven't started mine yet. I've been so lazy. That needs to change, bro. Come on, let's go. Let me turn up the light here a little bit. There, in the dark. So yeah, this dojo assignment, it's assignment 10. And if you're new here, the dojo is completely free for all skill levels. So if you're just starting out, this will come very handy to you, because there isn't that much free spaces out there in which you can learn fundamentals, and you have this kind of really cool assignments, you know. And also having it be a community thing, it's much better because you can feed off of everyone's energy. You're not in your own echo chamber vacuum, you know. So that's for one. And if you're already experienced and have some mileage on you, revisiting some of this stuff can become really helpful. So assignment 10, we are already on typography, right? You can just jump in on the deep end. You don't need to start from the beginning, but you can do so if you want to catch up on the first assignments, because everything builds up from the previous, you know. But yeah, we're on typography, editorial typographic systems. Last stream I explained just a little bit how to think about them in a way that's a bit more manageable, right? You needed to pick a writer or a movie director from the list on the brief. Here I was looking at some, I'm going to try to do mine. I was trying to compile some information. Here is the Design Dojo. So if you join, the link below, you're going to have it. If we go to type synthesis, we're going to have here like all the links and the assignment brief. And I was already taking a look. This is a Figma board that's already on the previous stream links, also in the assignment brief. And here's the brief for this assignment. Right, so we needed to pick one of the, you know, these movie directors or authors. I went for, you already know, my guy, Fyodor Dostoevsky. And I'm going to try to lay out a couple of pages just so you see what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to do it. We have we have time until the end of the month, right? The assignments, you can do them any time you want. If you don't have the time, you can do them later, you know, like everybody on the Discord, the people are still doing the assignment number 2, you know what I mean? And I'm still going in there and at least rating them, you know what I mean? Right, people are commenting on some of them, of the oldest one, the people that are just joining, but you don't need to do them at the time. I think it's better, you know, it's better if you do it with the community, because you can hop into the streams and get what we're talking about while we're doing it, right? So don't, if there is, I know there all of you have too much going on and work and everything. If you can manage the time to do them on time, then so I can talk about them on stream, then that's the better. But they don't have a, they don't end, you know. People might join the dojo at any point and they can do them, you know. So if you're up to date, try to do them in that week or 2 weeks, you know, so I can react to yours on stream, but and give feedback, right? But I'm always trying to go back in there and see what people are uploading to the older most assignments, you know what I mean? People are still doing the collage sketch, you know. And here we have, this is a very hard assignment. I already know this is the hardest one and we have very little submissions, but it's all right. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. It's me, just posted it. I think I'm gonna do assignment 3 and the actual one right now. Okay. So let me know if you have any like particular questions that you would like me to talk about. Oh, there was a question on the previous stream. Let me look at it. Let me look for it. Somebody left a question. How do I go here? Let me look at it. It was on the... It was on the comments. To go to the previous stream. What's good? Okay, here is the question. So my guy was asking, let me see. Do you see my screen there? Yeah. Yeah, so my guy was asking, what determines a hierarchy, something that is unique? So you need to think about it like this. This is a much more compartmentalized and clear like hierarchy structure. Everything is so like self-contained and orderly, let's say. So this is the most clear way in which I can show a hierarchy, right? So the different parts that would compose your systematic, your typographic system, you know what I mean? So you have your titles, your main body text, your pull quotes, and however you want to place them on the hierarchy spectrum, that's a hierarchy, right? So for example, in here, this is very low quality because it's the image that I found. Here he has like a main apostrophe for the way these letters start. So this is one hierarchy, right? So I think this is a code for the date, and here how the email starts, right? So this would be one hierarchy, right? If we go to some of the other examples, right, something like this, it's a bit harder, right, to segment. Let me see if I can make something. Okay. Can't I paint? Pencil, right? So maybe in something like this, maybe this would be a hierarchy level. Why is it white? How can I change the color? The red, and let's give it more weight. Okay, something like this, right? So maybe this would be one hierarchy, right? I don't know why that is, what that is, sorry. Here we have another hierarchy. Here we have another hierarchy. Or maybe you could say that this is another hierarchy in and of itself, right? This is another hierarchy, right? Here you could say, for example, the way these little blocks of text, you could say they all belong to the same notation system or the same like step in the hierarchy level. So maybe these are all notations for the same kind of information. So all of these are one hierarchy level, right? Right, this would be another hierarchy level. And this image would be another hierarchy level, the way that it's placed in the text. So it's each family of information, you know what I mean? For example, and within this hierarchy level, so we have this way he's doing the notations. Like this is Russian, but so in the way he's doing the notations here, so we have, see, all kind of follow the same structure. So it has this little bullet point with the number on top. We have it here, right? Then this block of text with the title. So inside the hierarchy level, we already have a systematic way in which he's accommodating the information. So that is the kind of things that we need to replicate. Right, let me see if I can find another, which is kind of clear. For example, this one. You see, like this is a hierarchy level, right? I don't know what these are. German-based musician manager, orchestra, welcome. Okay, these are our dates for events, right? These are all the same hierarchy level, right? Because they are the same kind of topologic element, let's say. So they are all dates, and so these are all the same, right? So this would be two hierarchy levels, right? Because it has, sorry, not two. These are like 1, 2 with this kind of title that it has, which is numbering something. Then we have like the folio, which is this. Right, this is information that's gonna be always repeated in all the pages, right? But if we go inside of this hierarchy level, you see this hierarchy level has a formatting. You know, it has a way in which it's already formatted, right? So for each date, it's gonna have the date and the hour, the title, a description, right? And then like a small billboard for building block for the ones who are participating, right? So it's not like this is one hierarchy level, this is another, this is another, this is another. You know what I mean? Like this is an entire element that's composed in that way. You know what I mean? In this case, you see, for example, in this one, you have the main text, one hierarchy level. Then we have the title, this notation, I don't know what it is. I think this is a chapter, right? Then we have annotation. That the annotation has a specific formatting in of itself, you know. So it starts with the number on bold, then it has like a small description. I don't know what this is, a time and date, right? And then it has like a small bold at the end that I don't know if it's like a signature or something. You know, so there is a formatting inside each of those hierarchy levels. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me know if you have any specific questions, guys. They're good. So okay, first let's start. Yeah, that's a good trick. One good trick, I think, is to squint your eyes and look at the page to figure out the hierarchy level. Yeah, that's like you can squint your eyes and sort of see the stains, and you'll see the blocks of ink, you know, and you can start to map out where the important parts are, you know, and try to look at it like an abstract stain to try to figure out the composition in a much more like the way you feel it, you know what I mean? This I really like. So this could be dates, like bullet points for different authors. This could be very well a hierarchy in terms of a book, and then the year it was written, and the spot, or maybe you have like a whole gallery. So it's a spread, a double page. Yeah, a spread is a double page. So 4 doubles page deliverables. Yeah. 1 second. Look at this. But one important point, let me go back to the... Did somebody else uploaded something here? No, okay. Let's take a quick look at this one that somebody uploaded. Here the texture, it's doing too much, and also the KKK. There are some symbols that, regardless of your intent, are too strong culturally. You know, KKK is like Ku Klux Klan, you know, so you need to be... Sometimes design, it's more important that it's not understood the wrong way, you know? So some elements, you need to like take that into account, you know, what is stronger, that Frank Kafka used to sign like this, or it's more prominent the KKK that we all know, you know? So that's for one. And here my problem is that the hierarchy levels are not that noticeable. You know what I mean? So I mean, there is it's more good than wrong. You know what I mean? But I think it could be a lot more orderly and, for example, a little bit more like streamlined. You know, for example, here you have this type of text that's going flush against the grid which the main text is falling into, but then you have this other page in which it's not behaving like that, right? Also the text not justified is it's creating a very weird flakiness in the text itself, which this tends to work better for smaller text, right? I really like this that you're doing with doing the at night, and then with the script font or the little glyphs on the back. I really like that. I think the texture here is not really helping you. I think it would be far better if you made it just black and white and kept the color for very small details, right? And here, I don't know what this hierarchy level is. Okay, it's a child. I mean, it looks like you're using the main text, but in a way that's not... It looks like badly written main text. You know, it's not reading as a completely different hierarchy level, right? And here what you're doing in mutations, that is going to the other page. Like, you never do that in the entirety of the system. So we didn't set up a rule that that's something that's gonna happen, you know, and it's also like barely going in, you know, barely going to the other page. So if you want to make like a spread in which the text is gonna bleed in the full page, like do the entire composition like that, so it reads like a main decision, because here is like done too shyly. So I don't understand that if maybe your text got like displaced or something, it doesn't look like a proper cohesive decision, you know. But at least there is an idea of the system with the typography and the colors. Like, I can see it. You know, you can make it tighter, but I like it. This looks less like a book spread and more like a loading screen for a horror game. Yeah. It has something like that. Like, this looks really Silent Hilly, you know what I mean? Right? Okay, I guess this is an index, right? So we're gonna need to think also about like the index, right? Here we have some short stories. Like, think about the information you have for your writer and for your text that you're going to do for your author or whatever it is, and think how you can sort of map out the information to create your own index. Because here what I see is that you listed out the titles and then you run out of information, right? It's lacking more hierarchy levels here, right? So you need to think about the information you have to be able to see what more information you can add, right? So maybe you have, if you did like short stories, and then you had every short stories, and then you do biography and a tick for the biography and what page, then influences, so you try to structure all the information you have in a way that gives you more leverage to create a more interesting composition, right? Because this is the goal for this, right? Is to try to be creative into finding cool ways of structuring the information you have that gives you an excuse to make a hierarchy level, right? And to make something you can design around. We are not trying to make an actual book, right? I mean, you can think it like, if you want to go the extra step, I'm going to show you now something that I want to try. But if you're struggling a bit, just manage to get the most information you can and see how you can compartmentalize it to create something that looks cool. If I go back to the Figma board, for example, something like this. You could make an entire page of a book, a quote that you like from the book, a small passage of the book. Here you can have a small segment talking about some ideas of the book, and you can grab the entire other page to make like a glossary of all the characters and all the locations of the book that are within the book. That's gonna take you more work. You can make up the information. I'm just saying, like, don't just plaster the information there. Like, see the information you have in your author and think what you can do with it. This is not just an assignment on trying to manage the hierarchy levels, but this is to try to fix the issue of what do I put in my posters. That old issue when we are starting out, that we look at the blank page like this, we don't know what to put in there because we are not trying to be creative. We are just thinking about the image, and we are not thinking about, okay, why do I have here? How can I? Oh, okay, I can make like a really cool grid maybe with the characters, and what are the characters talking about mostly in all their chapters, right? And that gives me something to design around. Now I don't have like nothing to design around. You know what I mean? What are the nationalities? What characters tend to have more scenes talking to each other or stuff like that, Maybe you don't have the specific set of information, but you can think about it like that. Maybe that gives you like a way of doing like a color-coded dialogue between the characters, and you don't have it as a main block of text. You have it like two competing like paragraphs, you have the conversation like in a script, right? And you format it like that, but you need to get in there and have the information. This could easily be like a family tree of a Dostoevsky book for its characters, This also, you could easily do this with passages of a Dostoevsky book, in the characters, in what chapters. But yeah, this is a hard assignment, right? So let's go. Oh, I want to show you something that I did playing with Bro. I was playing with Cassiel. Let me show you. Okay, I did this. This is to make a grid. I did this I was playing with Cassiel, with Claude. We were doing like a way in which it could do like some morphologic shapes, and I changed some stuff with Claude to make it like a grid system generator. And here I'm using I'm gonna do an A4, but I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do an A4, but I want to do it horizontal. So I'm gonna do something like that. Here I can set the columns and the rows that I want. And usually these kind of books tend to go in pair numbers, like 4, 8, 12 maybe. So for Dostoevsky, I want to do it in threes, like 6 and 9, because I think it's gonna give me a more awkward composition, right? And I think I like that feeling more. I think I can play with the gutter. I'm gonna make it 4 pixels, 4 pixels. Top the margins. I'm gonna give it like that. The inner margin, I'm gonna leave it a bit more open. I can change the bleed here if I want. This is a plain HTML. You just open it on your browser and it's gonna run. I already put it on the assignment board brief. Here I can change. There's a compression like slider that you can tweak. For example, here I can link it and you can compress the grid, so it's not symmetrical. This is gonna give you much more a way to make it much more interesting, right? We can make it symmetric. Right, make the compression like that. This could be something really cool, to make it the main body of text in the middle and then all little segments to the side. That could look really cool. And 6.9 or 6.7? Actually, let's make it 6.7 for the plot. Actually, I like 6.7 because it gives me the topmost for the running header. In 10. Okay, let's make it. Can it be 6.7? 6.7 for the plot. Okay. Let's unlink this because I want to make the horizontal compression with no compression, and I want the directional there. This is what I want. Right, I don't want to make the compression the other way around. Get in there and play with it, bro. Because it's this isn't what I wanted to show. I'm just doing it to show you the tool that I made, that Claude made. I made with Claude. Yeah, and here you have different ratios for the compression, right? That they are mathematically sound, so it looks cool. So this one I like, right? I might have to come in here and change it later, but let's see if I add more columns. Okay, this works. And now what's cool is you can save it as a PNG or as a SVG lines or an AI script to create the how do you say? To create the grid lines. I'm just gonna save this. And I'm just gonna drop it in Illustrator. You see, and it gave me the thing. So I can now just put this here. And since I already have my page set up, boom, and I'm ready to roll, It's helpful. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do like a straight grid from the start. I rather you, like I did last stream, you saw, just start playing with text and start positioning it. And once you have something that you think looks cool, then consolidate the grid, right? Now, because I think I know what I want to do, I'm gonna do it this way, but don't do it straight from the grid like this. Oh, what happened with this? Oh, it. Yeah. Here there is this text that I really want to use, which is called. It's a part in the Royal Karamazov. When a monk dies and he's going through his life, telling his story to one of his disciples, which is one of the Karamazov brothers. And there is this really cool part about the mysterious visitor that gives him a sort of speech and starts to coming with him and talking with him and asking him his account of his life. Is really cool. I want to use this sort of part of that story for the main text part of at least this segment. Right? So let's just grab this and start. And then I can start to take a look at the text, right? Let's first do this justified there. Oh, this is another thing that I wanted to say about this grid. So Dostoevsky texts are a bit oppressive, you know. So I wanted the grid to have this gesture of being compressed, you know, so it gains speed towards the bottom, to sort of inform about this idea, you know, this idea of the text being really oppressive, right? And that's something also that I'm going to try to replicate with the gray of text. So I might do something like this here. Press this icon here. Oh, now let's play with typographies. What's good? Here I want the text to run a little bit longer, so let's make it a little larger, like 10. Okay, maybe this can run a bit longer too. Let's make it smaller, like 9 there. There, let's check we don't have no orphans, like when you have just one word at the end of a line. And have it there, okay. Want to nail the text first so it looks good. Helvetica light. Now let's see if we have something that's more classic, you know. This one I like. Typical size. What is this? Okay. So I want the text to feel a bit more oppressive. So to inform that a little bit, let's change the insert line to make it a bit more squish, you know, and the letters a bit more closer together. That I like. So we have the insert line, the leading, needs to be a little bit wider than that our font size, you know. So we have 9, we want to set it to 10 points, and it might overlap at some of the letters from the descenders and ascenders, you know, the part of the letter that goes towards its character line. But it doesn't matter. Here we are not going for a perfect thing, you know. It needs to, it's more graphic than another thing, than anything else, and I want it to look cool as hell, you know. But if we want to be extra, you know, and try to add a little bit of an idea to it, like, that's a plus always, right? Let me know if you have any questions or anything that you would like to talk about, guys. Okay. This is one thing I would like to. Greetings, bro. How did I make so the text wraps around? It doesn't matter. Let's just. Set this to. No. Ram, what's good, bro? No, since these are a couple of spreads, I'm not doing it in InDesign. Guys, you should do it in InDesign if you're going for longer projects. But here, because I'm just trying to show a little bit of like thinking about the hierarchies, not about the actual making like a big project. We're trying to tackle that and that kind of the systematic way of approaching it, like the hierarchy levels, not so much the actual workflow for it. In design, it's cool because you can actually make the formatting of each step and then you just click it. But here we're going for something that's to nail more the kind of the aesthetics of it. What's good, bro? You can combine as much fonts as you want. I like InDesign because it got overset text. Let's go. Bro, overset text is such a goated name. If you want to be on the safe side, like try to go for 2 or 3 fonts and manage to make the differences about sizes, right? Size and making it bold or regular. But I would like say try play more with it. Don't just straight to the how many fonts I can use. If the use of them makes sense, like do it, right? Like here, for example, if I'm trying to, this is gonna be an excerpt from one of the chapters. So I'm trying to say, okay, every time I use an excerpt from the book, this is the formatting that I'm gonna go for the way I signal that in the editorial type system. You know? No, bro. Actually, I got one yesterday, but I'm not gonna leak it, bro. No way. I didn't understand if your FedEx one was real or it was a joke, because you never know. It could be a massive PR stunt. Actually, I like it more if we make it like center for the main text, because if it's like a throwback, to those old typographic layouts. So I like how it looks, and we're trying to mix it with that more modern flair. Are you Argentinian? Yes. Is this AI like Illustrator? You mean? Yeah. I'll probably continue the FedEx bit. It's funny, yeah, bro. What the hell? What the hell? So now what I would like to do is to separate the bits that the mysterious visitor is talking and the one that Sosima is talking. Later I'm gonna send you this, guys, like this excerpt from the Brothers Karamazov, because this conversation that the two have, it's really great, and it talks a lot about the times today. Like this book, it's around what is it, like the 18th, the 1850 maybe, and he's already talking about man is getting alienated, and it's gonna reach a peak time in which humans are gonna be super alienated, peak individualism. And this book, it's really old, and it's still really talking about many of the issues of the time that you can really take it and see it for today. There is no spoon hand. Where you're distracting me, bro. No, it's not about me. Once I hear, I think I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's nice also if you throw even inside the text a little bit of to adding like texture to the text by adding bold letters. Maybe you can grab a specific part of the text that you want, for example, like I did here with the beginning, you know, and you can create like a pull quote from that if he says something important, you know, and that we all be responsible to all for all apart from our own sins. You were quite right in thinking that. Where's the part? You ask when it will come to pass. It will come to pass, but first we have to go through the period of isolation. We are literally going through it right now. Yes. yes. I miss working with big blocks of text for sure. Like I haven't done anything like this in a while, but it's super fun when you find. The hardest part is to find the system and to find the thing that looks cool. But once you're rolling and you found your little structure and you really start playing, it's really fun. I'm gonna drop a line because this, but first. So that maybe I drop to the next page. We're gonna have it here. The overset text cameo, it's crazy. Your RAM, it's a real one. Yo, so good to have you here, bro. I really love what you do. Now I feel the heat because RAM it's a proper designer, you know what I mean? And I feel now that I need to not fumble this. Yeah, let's go. Thanks, bro. Nah, to be honest, I'm embracing the design influencer. Let's go. It's like once you get like how do you say? It's like you embrace your mask. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like you're free. Now you're free. here, for example, this part of the text that's Alyosha talking, like one of the Karamazov brothers. Maybe this I set it in a different. Right, maybe I want to give emphasis to this specific part of the text, so I create a different way, right, of pulling out the text just for this. Maybe this, we will give it the accent color, you know. I don't want a graphic design anymore. I just want to be design influencer. I just want to support designers. Let's go. Yeah, I think that's a good call, bro. Are you doing any kind of project or just moving pixels as exploration? Oh, bro, you should take a look at the entire brief for the assignment. We're just trying to develop a bit of a editorial type system, but the intro was pretty long. But yeah, I just gave like a bunch of authors that you should look up and use it to sort of populate a system, and I gave a bunch of examples and like a small little talk on how to think about it. Okay, let's leave black for the. Let me see what happens if I change this to Helvetica. It might look cool. Bro saying making spread for assignment 10, bro. Yeah. Ese es Ichelo. ¿Cómo andás, bro? Oh, I like that. Kind of something like this. But it's gonna be hard to read that this is the first part. Like, it's actually a first line in the text. So it might leave like that. You know? And that's actually key when you were unsure about stuff. If you grab something and just make it really big to sort of push the hierarchy, like it instantly makes it look more intentional and it looks better. Usually, you know? I'm just trying to hear this part that I pulled out. Maybe it doesn't look good because it needs to be the same like line length, you know? This goes like this. The day I figured it out on InDesign was a fun day. I could do also you could also do a classic drop caps. Yeah. Wait, what is the drop caps? Drop caps. Let me look it. Maybe I don't know it like in Spanish. Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, what I wanted to try was to put it here and the text to wrap around it, but I can't remember how to do it in Illustrator. Place the object on top of your text block, select both elements. Okay. Make it like this. Text wrap make. Ooh. Okay, but let's change this. I used to do junk text wrapping around images by just making shapes around an image and turning on text wrapping. Yeah. It can look cool. Like, oh, I like this. I like this, but it's too clean for Dostoevsky. Oh, I like this contrast. This I like. I like this, but let's put it in black. Like this kind of contrast. It's looking typography. It's all over the place. Let's make it smaller. What happens if I create the outline there and now? Object, text wrap make. Yeah, if I make it the object first, it's better because otherwise it's taking the entire like shape, you know, like the text box. I want only the first line, bro. No. Make it really big. Okay, we'll fix later. It's not terrible. Also, one thing I noted when I was looking at the one that you uploaded, guys, like when you do the folio, like just pick a spot and make it consistent across all the pages, right? So we're going to do the pages, like let's say this is 34. Like you're supposed to put it there and leave it there across all pages, you know what I mean? I think there is an option to have it aligned to text rather than the box. I forgot. Oh, yeah, you're actually right because I remember I literally saw a reel about it yesterday. That goes to show, guys, like reels, like fucking you just forget, you know? Yeah, I saw the reel. It said the alignment. I can't remember where it was here. paragraph. Justification. No. Yeah. It was around here. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's a cool tip. And I forgot it immediately, bro. Yeah, it's what I did here. Like, this is the text box, and this is the object. The object is it's sharper. I actually like if we let it here, but the reverse, it's crazy, you know. But I mean, if we're doing it to look fire, I guess it's okay. We could put the actually let's just to make it look cleaner, faster. Let's put it here. Right, so this is chapter 2. Uh, character. Ooh, that's really good. Bro, the font scrolling is crazy. All right, gotta get back to work. Glad that I could stop by. Let's go, Ram. Thanks for stopping by. Talk soon, brother. We would put the pages here. trying to see where this flows better. I'm indecisive about the fonts because it's 9, so this should be 6. Okay, this is better. Let me know. Let's go, bro. Let me know, guys, if you have any specific question. This is hard to do live because like you need to try a lot of stuff, you know? It's not so straightforward. That's why it's a really hard assignment, you know? Just watch the beginning of the stream. I guess I'll start all over again. Yeah, let's go. Usually when you start over, you already have adjusted a little bit more, so it's easier. now I'm realizing that I'm not using my grid, I focused on trying to build the thing. Like from the top down, but my grid already sort of has a sort of structure to try to fix this, So maybe what happens if it sits like this, like all main text is going to be in this segment, right? Full quotes on the same text go like this. Right? This is a lot better. Go use some sharp type. What do you mean by sharp type, bro? Lucas Sharp, the typographer, bro. I don't have none of those. Next time you should do some live coding and letter design with you in Figma. Log your channel. Yeah, I thought about that. That could be a good idea to do a live piece on Figma. I'm still so unsure about this composition. You see, guys, this is what I mean. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Yes, I guess this is one of the issues when you start with the with the with the grid beforehand, right? So I'm gonna flip the grid now. Because I want to try what happens if I have it the other way around. It's my Oh, you can use. I said it in the stream before. You can use AI to sort of create expert excerpts of stuff. Someone that's really cool. I found this dude that transcribed a lot of the letters from Dostoevsky. So we can grab some of this and make something kind of cool with it, because it has a lot of letters between him and his brother. I don't know if the letters are signed before. Here. Here's a letter to his brother. Let's see if we can make something. Oh, see, these letters are already formatted, so we can make them really small. Let me change the grid a little bit. These are, make it a bit less. less columns. Is my Really condensed fonts. Oh shit. This is so hard, guys. But here, for example, I want to explain a bit of what I did, right? So if I'm gonna put this type of excerpt, like I'm gonna excerpt, I mean like a fragment of a text, which is a full book, from a full book. So I'm gonna put, okay, this could be the chapter. Here I'm putting like the drop cap, like Ram said, but like a drop phrase, right? So I'm gonna start the text with a phrase that I'm gonna highlight it, and that's gonna sit here. And this is gonna be what chapter of the book is it. And here the mysterious visitor. This is a mistake because the mysterious visitor, it's like the subtitle of that segment. So maybe this, I put it here. Right, this is the subtitle of that part of the text. So it's chapter 2, the Russian monk, the mysterious visitor. Here is like a small description. Actually, let's drop that because it's adding a bit too much noise to my liking. Right, so this could be a formatting option. So every time I'm trying to do something like this is the way that I'm gonna display this information, right? How it sits on the grid and the formatting for the text, which typographies, so these are all rules that we're trying to establish. Here this is the main body of text. And here, for example, there is a part in the text that I want to highlight, which is a question that Alyosha asks, that Sosima asks the mysterious visitor. So that adds a bit of texture to the text and of emphasis to certain things. This could be a way of emphasizing something a little bit more, right? And then at a certain point in the text, I do a pull quote. So this is like the main emphasis I want to do from that body of text, right? So this is what I'm pulling here. Actually, the text moved a little bit, so this should be around here, but let's just leave it here for static purposes. Like, it doesn't matter. I just want you to understand, maybe come up with something like this. Here I have some letters from the Dostoevsky's brother to his father, right? And maybe those sit in, maybe the letters will always sit at the bottom, right, of my compositions. Or maybe if I want to do a page full of letters, I can start to do something that looks more like this, maybe, right? So maybe this is a collection of letters, and they start to sit more like this, you know what I mean? You know? Right, and maybe we have a bunch of letters and they sit like that. In this way you can start to create sort of your rules around your system, right? Maybe in this page I want to keep, maybe in the pages I have a full body of text that I want to keep somewhat cohesive, right? So maybe this continues, sorry. So maybe this text continues here, and I already, so it's gonna be there. Right, and I established that maybe the main bodies of text are gonna be up to here, and down we're gonna have other kind of information. But if I don't want them to get mixed so much, I can maybe drop it to here. Here we have a pull quote that separates, right? And here we can have them. My guy, thank you for joining in. Right, but you can see, right, the separation from the hierarchy levels, that you can see, okay, these are distinct bits of information that mean different things, right? This is the key takeaway I want you to take away for your systems, right? And then for you to try to organize the information. But yeah, this is a hard exercise. Like, right, the key thing, guys, is that you are repetitive with your, you know, your constants and your, here, for example, the running header, it's going to be always justified left on your left side and justify right on your right side. Maybe we could have this one always justified in the second column. So like that. Right, that could be a letter. Here we could have another small letter. Let's see, we have another short letter. Yo, like, this dude wrote a lot of letters. right? See what I mean? And this is the specific formatting that I'm giving the letters, right? So the letters are gonna always have this formatting, in which is who wrote it to who, the content of the letter, and then at the end we finish it with the year and the date, right? So that's the formatting we're gonna give the letters, right? And you can be here, you can design it as you want. If you want to make it maybe like this, and you want to be a little bit crazier, maybe you want to do something like this for the dates. You want to make it like this for the dates, you can do it, so all the letters sit like this on a page. You can do that also, right? So with that hierarchy level now in place, and so draw men's soul out of their solitude. But until then, we must keep the banner flying, sometimes even if he has to do it alone, and his conduct seems to be crazy. A man must set an example, and draw on men's souls out of their solitude, and spur them to some act of brotherly love, that the great idea may not die. Oh, you should all read this excerpt, it's crazy. So this, the great idea may not die. A timeline. Okay. Let's just, I'm gonna copy this here, just like it seems like we added another. Okay, another thing, for example, we could have here the letters, right? I'm just thinking about the timeline. Okay, maybe the pull quotes over sit here, maybe in this text in particular. Again, I'm giving emphasis to one of the questions in the dialogue, right? This is signaled a bit different. I'm gonna here it's moved a full like that, so it's the same. Like that, so it doesn't sit completely off the grid, maybe like that, so it's kind of broken to the side, and all the pull quotes are gonna sit straight in the middle of the mainline body text. And now let's say that we're going to do a timeline, right? And this section, the inner two, let's say you could do like a separate page for the timeline. You could do something like this. Let's get rid of the main text, right? And you can start, like, for example, and that's the key, you know, like when designing stuff, you need to design the timeline, right? No, this is oh, this is the Dostoevsky correspondence. Here. Right, so you could start. November 11. Right, then here we're gonna start to give it format, right? Moscow. Right, this, maybe we're going to do it in italic. Right, and maybe this is how you design your entries for your timeline, right? And then you need to make a decision. You're gonna run it like this, right? You're gonna start like that, or maybe you are going something like this. What are gonna be the entries like? Or maybe what we can do is like, maybe we have always like a timeline entry. We're gonna have them running on the inside of our on the inside of all of our pages, we're gonna have on the inside 2 rows running the timeline. Right, you know, the timeline is just a way of ordering information, so you can start. Right now, I added another hierarchy level within the biography item, right? So we have the year and the date, and those where the date is not particularly specified, maybe we go like this, right? With this, like, it's not known. You know what I mean? So you start to find ways in what is the format you're gonna structure the information, right? And here I'm making it pretty like basically, right? I'm not being as creative, and it's hard, you know. It takes time to come up with a cool typographic system, right? And you can do it like this, or you can even go like, let's make an entire, if we would make like an entire page only for the timeline. Maybe you go like this, right? And for example, let's say the military school, it's a break, right? It's a breaking point in his career. Like maybe and then you move to the next aisle, right? To the next segment of columns, right? So you start to use those breaks to mean something, right? So you use the grid to help you make a decision in terms of the design, right? And here we add like a small something that means there was a break in his life, right? There is a specific point in which Dostoevsky, for example, he gets caught as part of the Petransk circle, which was like a subversive group. They were reading like socialist text and whatever in the age of the serfdoms in the serfs in Russia. And bro got taken to. They were gonna shoot him, you know, and they were about to shoot him, and they had shot a few guys already, and it was his turn, and a soldier came with a piece of paper, and he got pardoned and got sent to Siberia. Right when he got off Siberia and got released, he changed completely. Like he was completely radical in his time, and he became like an Orthodox Christian, and there he wrote his best works, you know. So there is a point in his life in which he changed, right? So maybe in the composition, in that part, when we reach that part of the biography, we changed the composition, right? Because he became the other way around. So maybe that means we can flip in when that part comes, we flip the we flip the grid maybe, you know, and that way you can start designing with those things in mind. And maybe we have that, and we add, maybe here we add some of the letters. You want to add some of the letters, maybe because in that point of his life he was doing a lot of corresponding with his brother, or I'm not saying that you need to find the perfect sense for this, right? But just to think about it, in what way could it be like built, you know? Then you can go find the information and build like the real narrative for it, right? Maybe this sits kind of like this, right? You know, and that's where you need to start playing with what you have and find a place for it, right? Another way we could have done this is like we have this like so, and maybe here we have something like this. This could also work, right? This is great contrast. This is something that you should look for also in your composition, right? But what would this be, right? Here we are not doing a pull quote. Maybe this is a, maybe if this text maybe had gone here, and we have here a double, maybe in this setup we had something like this work, and maybe here we could have did the right. That's a spread that could work. Does that make any sense, guys? Think about the information you have and the ways in which you can lay out that information and set it in a grid in a way that's systematic. You know, like all biography entries are gonna be like this, and you can choose to do it like in a spread, right? Set the entire biography on a spread, or you can choose, no, I'm gonna have like a main body of text and then the letters or the biography running in another part, right, of that same page. So maybe we don't have the letters here. Maybe in the entirety of the publication, so maybe we have the main body of text here, and in this bottom segment we only gonna have like we only gonna have the biography items in here, right? And there you need to make a decision of how you want to set it for your particular grid, right? Sorry if you already addressed this. For many years I've used Illustrator to make posters on most typographic system, but many times I got told in uni to use InDesign for working on big systems. Yeah, that's totally true. That's totally true. I'm using Illustrator here because we are just working on a 4-spread system, right? We're not gonna use it systematically on an entire book, right? If I would be working on an actual publication, I would use InDesign, right? Because I can save each part of the system, right? And I can give it the specific formatting that I want with just one click. Here I'm just moving stuff around, right? But let me know, guys, if it's particularly understood what I'm saying. You know what I mean? How you should look at the information and see if ways in which you can make it work, right? This is a nice page layout, I feel like, right? In the particular way that it's ordering the information, right? So we have, so in this particular page, we could have and even so, right, you would have a letter plus 2 entries for the biography, right? Or maybe we change it and the biography and the letters go always in ones, you know, so right? Maybe letters always sit sort of like this, right? And you can start to see the little blocks like kind of emerge and see, oh, okay, that's the same kind of information as the other one. Or maybe biography, it's like this, you know, like, I mean, sitting in the same column, like you don't make the separation of it having it be like we had it before. Maybe you have all the biography, you have it like this, right? It always sits on the furthermost, the edge, the edge column. Maybe you have over the entirety of your publication, you have it always on the left side margin, right? Or maybe you have it only on the left page, only on the left page, on the leftmost margin, you have the biography all there, right? It's running everywhere, it's running every time. So maybe this, we ditch it and it's just running there, you know, the biography is gonna be always there. Right here, I'm just copy pasting the same one, but of course, it would be, as you start to put the real information, you're gonna start to have that variation. Some are gonna have more information than others, right? I'm just copy pasting for the sake of making it fast and to show you how it would look. Right, this is because it's an extract of one of his books, but maybe then in another page I have here I don't know, like an interview here did or something, and this I format it differently. I put it maybe like this, maybe like so, and it's towards the bottom. Right here, and there is, I don't know, a compilation of other letters. You know, once you have built a bit of your typographic system, you start to build it like a Lego. You start to mix and match the pieces and start to see where you place them, right? But the first part where you start to sort of build how your system looks, it's what takes the most time. Then you need to start replacing the information, you know what I mean? But this, okay, how your biography items look. How does your, for example, Dostoevsky used to write a lot of letters, right? So I have that hierarchy level, okay? How I'm gonna do the entries for the letters. You might have another thing. That's what you need to take a look at your author. Maybe if you're looking at a movie director, what were his favorite actors, his favorite inspirations, right? So that's why I mean, like, take a look at your information and see what you can do with it, right? But yeah, this is a hard assignment, but I think it's an important one because at the end of the year we're gonna do. At the end of the year, we're gonna do a sign, right? We're gonna do a sign or a zine. We're gonna do a zine with all that we did towards the year. Then maybe if you didn't participate in the dojo, with all the work that you did on your own, right? And making a scene with a small typographic system that could look really cool because we're gonna print it. I'm gonna show you a way of printing it and putting it together. But see here, I'm just throwing stuff around and the information kind of works. You know, it looks kind of cool when we do it like that. Right, if I take out the grid, there is something already kind of working, right? Systematically, right? You see what I mean? So this is what you need to start to pay attention. Right, if we take a look at this, you see it's all kind of the same, how they are ordering the information. See guys, like it looks kind of like this. You don't need to overcomplicate it as much, but if you want to go really granular and make a lot of hierarchy levels, you just need to look at your information and say, okay, how do I order that to have all those levels, right? See? And it's okay, it works, right? Yeah. Also, you say we'll make a full album cover system for the final graduation project. Yeah. That's gonna be the one before. Right, this is the hardest one, guys. Like if you do this one, then we have a couple of more that are a bit more, like, should I say, like kind of poetic, you know? Yeah. In design, it's really good software, you know, but you need to land on the project for that it makes sense to use it. But it's really good, for sure. But yeah, after this, I'm gonna give this one more week because I want to see what you guys make, and maybe we make a one more stream about this, and then we're moving on. We're moving on to get lost in the object, lose the object. I don't know if you remember that assignment. It's more morphologic, but after that, we're just gonna do lateral thinking, visual poem. Those are easier to make, but they are about concept, you know. I have made my first spread. I gotta lock in harder. Yeah, this is a lock-in assignment. This is crazy. But if you manage to make something cool, you have a pretty cool portfolio piece. You know what I mean? So I like this, but I should work more on it. I'm pretty tired. Like doing this killed me because this is really hard. Let me see how it looks if I put it on the mockup. But yeah, we're gonna do. We're gonna do this year. Please don't forget the comment making one. What? We're gonna do also like a book cover assignment, and those are fun. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. Ah, shit, guys, sorry. I was testing the... Right? You see what I mean? It works, right? It takes quite a while to make something. I mean, this is pretty standard. Like, this is what I would do. I mean, it's just what I was taught in uni. You know, like the classic Swiss, pretty grid heavy. You know, but you can be much more out of the box with this. Now, because I'm pretty tired and this is the first thing that I could come up with. But usually the best ideas are the ones that come after the first one, right? So play with it for a little while. I would advise you to don't use texture, just do plain text, you know what I mean, and start playing with it. But the mockup, this mockup is also on the assignment brief, right? I would try to go also for bigger margins. Bigger margins help make it looks better, you know. Like my original had pretty, because I like flush text, I like the text like pretty towards the edge, but it's true that if you give it more space it looks better, right? This assignment, I'll replay to that in a little bit, but see what I mean, guys? Like, just start playing. And then if I put this here and I turn the fill down, that looks fire, like it's the other page. The fuck. Like that. So yeah, guys, what my bro saying? This assignment looks interesting. How often are the streams? I stream every Wednesday. You can join the Discord from the link below, and you can start from the beginning, or you can jump on the late most assignment. But yeah, like, take a look at the brief, take a look at the previous streams. You know, there is a bunch there. You can go from the beginning, because guys, it was super interesting. Like, we started from the stain, like from the abstract stain with inks, you know what I mean? Now we're in typography, and we're all building up. Like, I know this assignment is hard, but please just try to do it. And if not this one, do the previous one. I feel the previous one, it's a bit more important, you know, the typographic collage sketch. I give you everything that you can print out to do the collage, and also please watch the streams, because those are gonna give you the most mileage, you know what I mean? I think the stain composition sketch, the typographic collage sketch, and this assignment are the ones that are gonna give you the much more bang for your buck in terms of time invested and what you get out of it. You know, they're pretty ludic, you can replay. I'm in it. This gave a better overview of what's required. Let's go. Yeah. Just think about your information. Think about how you lay it out, you know. And yeah, after this we have a pretty good ones later. Let me check my Notion. I have a few on the Notion, but well, what the hell bunkers? Design those show. Let me Dombrowski. So we have the book cover filling, morphology, structure, cutout, sketch. We already passed that. Visual poem, designing your community's vernacular. I think this one we're also gonna skip it because it's pretty open and it's pretty hard. But it could be good, you know, like as a quick little assignment we could do. The movie poster, food vinyl set, the fanzine, collage, type sketch. Okay, this one we already did. Yeah, because we have it here. Oh, okay, this one already. Yeah, and there are a few that are not here that will be, right? And yeah, that's kind of what we are going for, bro. It's gonna be super good. But yeah, do you have any questions, guys? Anything that you would like to ask me? If not, if you have any doubts, like, let me know so we can clear them now. And and I'll just close the stream because I'm literally dying, guys. If you want to support, guys, also, if you want to support, you can become a Patreon. It's all free, like all the dojo is free. Patreons only get a leveling system in the dojo. You get like ninja ranks on the Design Dojo server. You get a bit of some perks, right, with being a dojo supporter. Like you can share images on all the chats and gifs and whatnot. You get the leveling system, and also you get one free design asset from my store each month, and access to all my original PSD files, HD images that you can print, and access to work in progress asset packs that I could be working on. So there's that. And if you don't want to become a Patreon, you can always step by the store, get some texture, get any tool that will help you to. I will arrive at the idea that I don't like my tools to make you work faster, but you actually spend more time working, because it's fun and you're engaged, right? So yeah, I like to think that my tools are for you to spend more time working, not less. You know what I mean? So yeah, to play and experiment, bro. And actually, I think it ties nicely with the dojo, because if you see my work and you like it, it's not because of the textures. It's because I have it internalized and I know it, right? So learning this will get your work look really cool, right? Then when you throw the assets and the textures and all of that on top of it, it makes it extra, right? But I think it's important to know where you to put your energy. There is time and place for everything, right? What is bro saying? You're gonna do those assignments. How many times, like next year, will you make it going this? I know it's far away time, but I was just wondering. Yeah, hopefully, like, I want to keep the dojo running forever, guys. Like, I want it to reset every year and be a spot that's known, that people come to the dojo to I want it to be available for everybody every time. I want it to keep running every year. Maybe not every year with the streams, right? But I want the dojo to be an active place forever, hopefully. And who knows what it will happen in the future, what it will become, but initially I would like it to be an ongoing thing, right? And I like that it keeps me engaged also, like every Wednesday I get to stream, get to talk to you guys, and be more in contact with the people that follow me for X, Y, or Z, so I think it's nice. It's a nice vehicle for the community also to have it be something that's free, that we can all participate and learn about design, and not learn in a way that I'm teaching you, because it's not at all like that. It's like these assignments you learn by doing, and we share it with everyone in the Discord, and we talk about the things, and during the streams also. And it's a way to go back to that community-based thing, in which there is a thread that goes to the community, in which there is not, like, I hate we were joking with Ram before, because he feels like the design influencer, and I feel like that too sometimes. And I don't want the main thing to be about selling you something, you know what I mean? That's part of the business model, whatever, but I like to think I have a purpose model, which is this, and we get to talk about books and authors and ideas, and then I support it with the monetary stuff and the selling of the assets. But the main thing that keeps the community together is this, like, we getting together and practicing stuff and talking about this shit, right? In an era that's all about the tools and having it instant. Nah, bro, we're doing it handmade. These things that you learn through these assignments are gonna be good for you regardless of the tool, but yeah, that's my idea for the dojo, right? And yeah, that's kind of it. If you're along for the ride, subscribe, tell a friend, or don't tell a friend. Gatekeep this. Nah, don't gatekeep, bro. But hopefully you like what we are seeing here. It's kind of hard, but I guess in the context that we're living in, it's like it is what it is. Anything that's not instant, it's hard, right? And it's good, that it's hard, because you'll have a purpose for longer. If it's said and done, then you need to move to the next thing. But this is gonna take you years to master, as it took me, and as it's taking me, right? Because I'm nowhere near being a quote unquote master. I just know some things and I like to communicate them, right? But also by communicating this, I learn it better. There are people that do a lot of stuff but can't teach it. I think that if you want to really know something, you need to teach it, right? Because in teaching it, you need to boil it down in a way that you can communicate it, and you end up getting to understand it a bit better for yourself. So there is a something you gain while sharing, right? And I think that's part of the dojo also, when you try to go in there and try to say your mind, because I always say, like, get in there and give your feedback. Like, it doesn't matter that maybe it's not quote unquote correct, right? In the act of your sharing your opinion and formulating your opinion, you are getting better, not in a theoretic way, but in a spiritual self-narrative way. You're gaining the ability to break out of your own bubble and say your piece, say your mind, and communicating with other people. That's the main thing. I feel like in this context, that's better than just the mindless consuming on the phone. We're not getting that relationship built, right, with a community of like-minded designers, or not like-minded, but we share a single thread that we can all communicate through, which is design, right? So yeah, join in. Hope to see you on the Discord. Diane saying, this exercise is hard, but it's goddamn satisfying when you start seeing cool things in your work. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. This is because it's complex, right? It's complex. So it's complex. So that complexity reaches a point in which it breaks the threshold and it looks cool. It's like this one that I made. Like, I wasn't really feeling it, guys. Like, I was I'm fumbling this, like, the cat is out of the bag. They know I'm shit. But then it takes form and it looks cool, right? But this is hard. This is hard, right? But I think it's the cool assignments, like, a designer must know how to do something like this, or at least conceptualize it in some way. Dojo is definitely an opportunity to be close to the career we're all deserving graphic design, guys. Thank you, Diane. She's such a real one. But she's like, you're getting a lot better, like, pretty fast. Like the assignment you did for the upload them. You just finished 4 pages. I want to see upload them now. We're gonna take a look at them, everyone together. On stream. Or if you don't want to, we can do it like in another time also. but yeah, I'm dying. Do you want to do it now and we'll take a quick look at them, or you want to leave it for the next stream? Actually, no, let's leave it for the next stream. No, let's do it next stream. Let's do it next stream better. Okay, perfect. Or you want now? Okay, let's do it now. Let's just take a look at them. She just finished. Yeah, it's really cool, the server, guys. Like, you can join in. Also, we have the lock-in room, because I'm all day there. It's like the room in which we can work. The co-working space here. Oh, do you see it? Here, the co-working space. Like, we just join in and work all together. Sometimes I'm with my camera, but it's cool to work there and not feel so alone. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, there was someone already there. The delay in the chat doesn't help, I think. There is too much delay. I don't know why isn't like loading. Did you upload it already? Ah, you uploaded on the general, in the general chat. Okay, this is good. Okay. Okay, I like it. We can see some idea of something systematic that's starting to happen, right? I like it. I like how you are wrapping the text here. I can see some decisions. You need to. There is something about the tightness of the text and the counterforms on your big text that it looks too far apart. You know, like you need to play around a bit with the kerning and the leading of the text, so it's more together. You know what I mean? And also play with the information, with the running header, you know, like the information that goes on the top. That helps to tie the system a lot because it gives you instantly something that's recognizable, that's gonna tie everything together. So the folio where you put the number of the page and the running header and maybe a running footer also, try to use that to emphasize the system. I like it. I would like you to play a bit more also with little titles and subtitles, you know, the titles, subtitles, also annotation text on the side. I like it. Be careful with this. I mean it's okay, I feel like, but if you're gonna make it, because it doesn't look like cool in a cool way, you know, it looks like untidy. Like if you're gonna make the justified, in which you get a lot of different separation in the words and everything, make it for shorter phrases where you can control exactly how it looks, right? So maybe you have the one idea and it's really clear that you wanted it to look that way. Here it looks kind of chaotic, but I like the idea. This in the bigger text, it looks awful. Like it looks really bad. Like this amount of reverse, like doesn't look cool. You need to get inside the text and make sure it's not formatted, because here where you have photograph professionnel avant the tourner, sorry, I'm butchering French, bro. Make sure it has no format. So because here you're having an orphan, right? Because it's fully justified, so the word photograph, it's getting completely separated, right? So make sure you have a room for at least 2 words on each row, right? Yeah. Play with that, but I like it. There is something that is working here, right? You see it and it looks like a system, right? It looks like a system. It's just a pretty like student, like, you know, you can work with it a bit more to make it a bit tighter and make clear decisions, but it will work once you have more pages and you can start, okay, I'm gonna put these hierarchy levels here and try to make a killer page, because these two are very similar. Try to make one with a lot of compartmentalized information, one with a lot of text, right? And one that's the main killer like composition, right? The ones that breaks the system. But yeah, this is good. Love it. Let's go. It's good. So okay, guys, that's kind of it. See you on next stream, and yeah, make sure to step by the Dojo, participate. You already know how it is. I cannot share my first page in general. Why can't you? You should be. You should be capable of. Oh, bro, my roles are completely broken. Wait. Let me see. You can't share it on general? Why? 1 second, guys, huh? Try now, bro. Try now. Try now and let me know. Geranda Studio. I was just thinking how cool it is to speak English being from Argentina. Greetings from Argentina. Let's go. I totally support you. The whole thing about studying design for free online is crazy. Oh, thank you. Let's go. But I mean, you're from Argentina. We have the best school for design here. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to spread the good luck. You know. I shared it in the assignment page. Let's see it. Bro, I said no images. No images. But also, I don't know if you remember, guys. I don't know if you remember what I said. First, no images. Right? And also, like it's very, like in a one-off page, it's very hard to see, like this is just a very first step, you know, like you need more information so I can start to see the decisions, right? Because now you always gonna write like this, you always gonna write like the titles like vertically, right? I like how you pull the quote here, but yeah, I need more elements and more stuff so I can see the decisions, you know what I mean? Now, right now, everything feels kind of floating. And also, I don't like to use the biography because this way of putting the biography like title, it's too much. Like, what's gonna be your main headers for titles if this is the main header for biography, right? Right. Also, one thing that you could try is like, don't tell me it's a biography. You know, like design it like a biography, and I will understand. You know, you don't need to put biography big, and I can see. You know, also like what I was saying when I was trying to make mine, you know, like, okay, early life, there is a bunch of stuff that you're missing here, like put dates, places, year, you know, cities, like make annotations on the numbers you have there. You have Kyoto, Japan, January 12th, 1949. All that, it's a hierarchy level that you can use to create information, you know, to design that information. What is process? Let's design a brand for a biotech company together and then sell it to a biotech company and share the money to feed our families. Let's go. But you know what I mean, my guy, with this one? Like, try to make up more hierarchy information. Like, you have the information here, I can see it. like in 1978. Like try to compartmentalize it a bit more so you get more information and design the information. You know, where are you gonna put the year, the date, the description of what's happening, right? Think about all of that. But yeah, it's a nice start. Hello from Paraguay. Let's go, Paraguayan brother. So yeah, that's it, my guys. Been nice. Glad to have you all here. Now I'm gonna get out of here. Need to go grab something to eat. I'm literally about to pass out. Haven't eaten anything actually. It's 5 p.m. here. The fuck? So yeah, that's it, guys. See you on the next one. You already know how it is. See you on the path. Bye bye.